Hi, this is Shelomo Solson, the host of the Teenage Impact Podcast, where we share stories, tips, and specific strategies on how you as a teenage kid can overcome any struggle in life. I don't know what you're going through in your life, and many of us have gone through a lot, especially in 2020. 2020 was a rough year. We were in quarantine, people were losing jobs, people had to stay home. And I put together a free guide for many of us who are in this funk. It's called the 7 Quick and Easy Ways to Feel Better About Yourself. And I base these tips based off of the 60 interviews that I have done of people around the world on how they overcame adversity. These are based off of the hours and hours of therapy sessions that I have been through and finding out solutions on how I can get out of this funk. And I'm giving it to you for free. The link is in the description. So click on it right after the podcast. It's called the 7 Quick and Easy Ways to Feel Better About Yourself. I am recording this podcast on a Friday night. Everyone else is going out. Everyone else is preparing for the weekend, having a good time. And the topic of discussion, I'm doing this podcast unedited, uncensored, and it's going to be about whether or not you should be working on a weekend. If this applies if you go to school Monday through Friday, or you're working Monday through Friday and you have nothing to do, no homework, no extra work that you have to do for work, should you be doing something on a weekend, productive? A lot of people say, no, weekends are your days in time where you should have off. And other people are saying, hey, if you want to go somewhere in life, you have to work your butt off. That means no weekends off. And there's two sides of the spectrum. There's people who always work Saturday, Sunday, they work nonstop. And there's people who just take weekends off, and weekends are their time for fun. That's, if you don't have any extra homework, or once you get your homework done, it's your time to be free. Here's my perspective. And this is what I do. And by the way, this is my opinion. And so you can take it, you can take my words and take it with a grain of salt, or you can apply a lot of the tips that I do provide you. I work on weekends. I work Monday through Friday. I work all day Saturday. I work all day Monday through Friday and most of Saturday, and sometimes half of Sunday. Now, sometimes if I have a lot to do, all of Sunday. But lately, I've been taking Sundays off because Sundays are my days off. And one weekend out of the month, I take that weekend off. And the reason why I work every single weekend is because I went full-time with Teenage Impact. And I have to prove myself, and I have to build momentum in order to get to a certain level. Yes, you have to work smarter, but in order to build that momentum in the beginning, in my opinion, you have to work 3, 4, 5 times as harder and smarter than everyone else. And that includes working on weekends. And a lot of successful people work on weekends, and some successful people don't work on weekends. Here's my recommendation for you. Right now it's summertime, so you don't have any homework unless you're taking summer classes. This all depends on your goals in life. If you're working full-time right now, if you're going to school full-time, obviously you have to take care of whatever you need to do. What are your goals? What are some of your passions you need to do? Maybe you're a high school football player, athlete, cross-country runner, track runner, soccer player, baseball player, whatever it is, and you have off season. And your off season, you have to prepare for the regular season. And that means you have to condition yourself. If your goal is to get much better or win state championships, then you have to practice, obviously. That includes weekends too, depending on what your coach has scheduled. Maybe you're not an athlete. Maybe you have a side hustle. Maybe you're good at music, or maybe you want to go into comedy. Maybe you have passion projects. You go to school Monday through Friday, you do your homework on weekends. That's going to require you to work on the weekend. But what if you're totally okay with not working on the weekends? If you're totally okay with not working on the weekends and it's a way for you to rejuvenate, then that's totally fine. Take your weekends off. Take your weekends as a way to rejuvenate. It all depends on your goals. Write down on a piece of paper where you see yourself 10, 15, 20 years from now, and break it down into small steps on what exactly you need to accomplish in order to get to that 15 or 20-year goal. And if that 15 or 20-year goal requires you to put in a little bit extra work, then that means you have to put in the work in the weekend. And when I say put in the work, it has such a negative connotation to it, because people tell me all the time, Shlomo, you work too hard. Why are you working on weekends? Here's the thing. When I'm working on weekends, I love it. I enjoy it. I love making podcasts. I love interviewing people. I love writing my book. I love practicing my speeches. I enjoy it. And I take Sundays off. I try to take Sundays off as much as possible for that day to spend either with my girlfriend or for that day to do something new out in the Philadelphia city. Or maybe I watch a new show or binge watch on Netflix. Whatever I need to get done, something non-relating to my career. Your question might be, Shlomo, I have non-stop things to do on your to-do list. Every entrepreneur, everyone, in my opinion, should take one day off. That's your Sabbath day. That's your day to rest. Even if you love your job or not, even if you have a million things to do with your to-do list, because your to-do list, I notice as an entrepreneur, is always going to be there. But when you take that Saturday or when you take that Sunday off, it gives a time for you to take a step back and reflect on all the things you need to improve on. It helps you reflect on Monday through Saturday or Sunday through Friday. And it helps you reflect, and you need that reflection time in order to get better in whatever you're trying to accomplish. Even if you have a million things to do. It's a long-term game. If my opinion, even if you love what you're doing, if you work every day, you're going to eventually burn out. A lot of highly successful people like Elon Musk, Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, they said Bill Gates, they didn't take a day off in their life, and now they're worth millions and billions of dollars. And good for them. That's amazing. And they love what they do. And if you want to get to that level of success, if that's truly your goal, then go ahead, work every day. But it's not my recommendation, because eventually down the road, you will burn out. Even successful people eventually burn out, and you have to continuously not only rejuvenate to think of new ideas. If you work every day on the same thing, eventually your passion for it will kind of go away. You kind of turn into a robot. My recommendation is take one day off. And if you're okay with taking the whole weekend off based off of what your goals are, then take a weekend off. I can't take a whole weekend off every week because I need to constantly grow my business. But maybe when I get to that stage in 10 years, 5 to 10 years, when my business is a little bit more automated, I won't have to work as hard, and maybe my weekends will be spent with my family, and that will be my family time. But if you're starting off in anything, you have to work your butt off. If you're at the point where you don't have to work as hard on the weekends, then take those times off to relax. Or maybe you work on weekends and you take one weekend out of the month off, or every 2 weekends off, or every 3 weekends off. You have to figure out a system for yourself. There is no right or wrong answer. I can't give you a right or wrong answer. You have to figure out yourself to see what works for you. Everyone on social media has different advice. And my biggest advice to you is do what works for you. Things that maximizes your results, maximizes your potential, gets the most out of you without you burning out and getting anxiety and getting sad. If you haven't done so already, follow me on Instagram. My handle name is in the description at Shelomo Solson. Share on your story. What is your favorite Teenage Impact podcast episode? What is your favorite tip? Who is your favorite interview with? Tag me, tag at Shelomo Solson, and spread awareness because I'm trying to inspire as many people as possible. If you haven't done so already, right now is your chance to download your free guide, the 7 quick and easy ways to feel better about yourself. Have a great weekend. Hustle hard or relax, up to you. But until next time, peace.